If you guys have seen videos on the channel in the past, you would know that I've made a couple videos talking about the B2 Spirit. And honestly, given real-world actions recently and just thinking about it more, I actually think that things like the B2 Spirit should not be added to Warthunder. And I have a couple reasons for this theory now. Honestly, I think it'd be terrible for the game, and there's a couple reasons for this. One, there's no counterpart to this. The only nation that operates any sort of bomber or strike fighter that is stealthy is the United States. Now, yes, China supposedly now has, I believe it's called, I actually do not remember what it's called, but they have supposedly it's a bomber, that's 6th generation, but it's, I'm not for sure and I don't know too much about it. America operates the B2 Spirit, and now they're operating the B-21 Raider. This is a big thing because they're the only real nation to do it. Now, why this would be absolutely terrible for Warthunder is, one, there's no counterpart to it. You can't exactly counter and give Russia a stealth bomber because they don't have one. Now, the B-2 and B-21, at least talking with the B-2 because we know for sure that would be a plane that would come to the game, the B-21 is still very, very, very new. The B-2 does not offer any sort of air-to-air capabilities. It does offer some of the best, if not the best, stealth in the world, and it would have such a weird playstyle. It wouldn't really fit in an RRB because it carries such a massive payload, and it's fairly fast compared to, depending on what BR you put it at. You can put it at like 9.7, but then it's just going to outclimb and probably outfly the majority of aircraft. And if you put it any higher, it's going to obviously just get gunned down by modern fighters. Where it's really going to be interesting aircraft would be Simulator, or Ground RB. And a B2 Spirit in Ground RB, if they even modeled its stealth anywhere near correctly, just does not sound like a lot of fun for people having to play it. You're basically playing a giant invisible bus that has the ability to wipe out your entire team with a couple of guided weapons. And on top of all of this, in simulator battles, it'd be so absurd to just abuse base bombing to get a crap ton of tickets. So it really just doesn't fit into Warthunder. Another reason why I say it's terrible for the game is it's going to cause so many arguments. It already does, and it's not even in the game. There are players that are going to argue about its BR, argue that its stealth isn't good, or it's too good, or it's unrealistic, or this and that. And that's an issue they're arguing to already have with 5th generation aircraft. But it seems like it's impossible for them to not add 5th gen. They've basically already confirmed 5th gen is coming in December. They said we won't see anything prior to that. But it just kind of goes that, you know, we're obviously at some point going to see 5th generation fighters, but we don't necessarily have to see the B2 Spirit. And it just is going to eliminate a whole reason for a massive argument on the game. So that's personally why I'm starting to feel like it would just be terrible for the game. Now, don't get me wrong, I'd love nothing more to play a B2 Spirit and use it like it has been being used in the real world, with either Operation Midnight Hammer or now Operation Iron Fury. There are so many different options for the aircraft, and I think it's just going to be so bad for the game in terms of how many people are going to, you know, argue about it, because let's be so honest, it's going to be modeled either too stealthy to the point where all the Russian and Chinese mains claim that it's incorrect. It's going to be modeled not stealthy enough, and that's going to cause NATO and mostly American players to argue it. And also keep in mind, the B2 Spirit is a real-world aircraft. It is still in service with the United States, and it will still be in service with the United States for a very, very long time. Obviously, if you piss off the wrong person, they could go out and leak something about the B2 Spirit, and that puts American aviators at risk, and honestly, it's just not worth it. They're already going to be adding the F-22 and F-35 at some point, and that's already enough of a risk. It just makes me kind of question why they'd even need to add the B2 Spirit. Plus, we don't even have things like the B-52 or B-1 in the game. So until they work on that, it just makes sense that we don't see the B2 Spirit. I'm very curious what your guys' thoughts are down below. I don't really want to make a giant argument out of it. I'm just trying to bring it to the fact that if the aircraft were to be added, it's just going to cause more harm to the game. And not to get confused, I do want to see the airplane. The B2 Spirit is probably one of the coolest aircraft in the world, and it is honestly one of my favorites, and it is so very unique. Anyways, like I said, let me know your thoughts down below. If you're not already subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button and subscribed. Hope Hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.